Hey everyone, in this video I'm going to highlight one green flag for block stock in 2023 and beyond, and that green flag is the Cash App. I'm going to go deeper into what that could mean for block stock investors. The CFO and treasurer of block stock talked about all the benefits incorporated in Cash App in its most recent quarterly update, noting that monthly transacting active users were 53 million in March. That was up 17% year over year. That was driven mostly by the word of mouth, right? People are talking about Cash App, and that's increasing adoption. People are signing up, downloading, and using it, and that's a low acquisition cost customer for Block, right? If it's word of mouth, then Block is not having to pay very much to acquire that customer. Interestingly, the Cash App card now reaches 38% of monthly transacting actives. So it's increasing in penetration, and that is likely to continue growing. 20 million Cash App customers in their March timeframe. Of course, if you've got the Cash App card in addition to the Cash App, you're likely to use the card more often, and that's good news for block stock because the more you use the Cash App, the more money Cash App generates off of your transactions. One of the things that Block has done to increase the utilization of the Cash App is increase the number of ways which people can add money to their accounts, and that makes it more convenient. And of course, anytime you add convenience, it's beneficial for customers, and that's working in Cash App's favor. Another way Cash App is boosting gross profit is through the monetization rate, which also grew strongly year over year given the increase in prices and the benefit of some interest income. Right? So Cash App was able to get its customers to add billions of dollars onto the Cash App. And since interest rates are significantly higher than they were a year ago, Block can use that money, invest it in higher generating interest assets, and pay those assets lower amounts of money, right? So customers are putting money onto the Cash App platform, earning lower interest rates. Block is then able to use that money from Cash App, invest in higher interest generating assets, and earn the difference, right? So they're getting money for lower cost, they're investing it at higher cost, and they're earning the benefit, the spread in between that. And when interest rates are moving higher, that's better for companies like Block that engage in those kinds of activities, earn a spread on the assets. So it's not just that this quarter was a good quarter for Cash App. The CFO saying that we expect to see this year Cash App to not only grow strongly, but to continue to see operating leverage in the Cash App margin. That's really good news. So let me explain a little bit. Let me talk a little bit about operating leverage. What operating leverage means is that as revenue grows, profits increase, they expand, right? So if your operating profit margin was 10% with 1 billion in revenue, and then your revenue goes to 1.2 billion, your operating profit margin expands to 13%. So not only do you get more revenue, but that higher revenue increases your profit margin. The main way that happens is by having fixed costs, fixed expenses. So when your expenses are fixed and revenue goes up, your profit margins expand because sales are rising, but your costs are staying flat, right? Costs stay flat, sales expand, and that creates a bigger difference from your profit margin. Think of things like rent, wages, right? Those are relatively fixed expenses, right? When you enter an agreement to lease an office space, it's like a 3-year lease or something like that, right? So your rent stays the same for multiple years. When you hire people, their salary stays relatively flat regardless of where your revenue goes. There may be some variable expense, some bonuses tied to revenue, but for the most part, if you're paying a salary of 60,000 per year, that salary remains 60,000 per year even if your revenue explodes. So when you have those types of fixed expenses and your revenue goes up, that creates that margin benefit, which is what Cash App is experiencing right now and plans to continue experiencing it for the rest of 2023 and probably even beyond that. All right, so that's all I've got for this brief video. One green flag for block stock in 2023 and beyond. Thank you so much for watching. I want to thank the Motley Fool for sponsoring this video. Visit fool.com/Parkev for the 10 best stocks to buy now.